All right. And we're going to watch Issa warm up here on Supernova.
Yeah, look. So we're moving
So
on to the
orange.
orange division.
We're in orange.
Yeah, orange division is the. Looks like we have had Wordus and Senpai move on from the yellow division to the orange division. Or actually, wait, hold on. Let me double check that. No, we had Pilot and Senpai. I got that completely wrong. Sorry. Pilot and Senpai have moved on from yellow division to orange division, where we have 8 players preparing to play Cryo Sleep, Esperanza, Katana Fighter, and Music is Moving, and Show You. Oh my gosh, Show You is crazy.
Hey, joining us in commentary.
We may be having another
I think
commentator.
relieving me. You know what? Let's let you jump in for a minute. Let's let you settle in. Yeah, there's 3 mics. Joining us on the star mic. Give us a second to dial you in. Make sure you're on. We'll get direction when you're on. Yeah. T-Swag, Thomas. Wait a second. Was I put next to you because we're friends? Is this Is this Chromium? Yeah.
Introduce
We must have
yourself.
been- yeah.
Hi. My name, or my handle, I guess, is T-Swag, or I guess in SMX circles, I mostly go by Janus5K.
Nice.
I'm currently number 1 on the leaderboards, which you don't really need to know that, but that does mean I know these charts. And,
He's my favorite.
fun.
We have
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite to take this tournament,
Okay.
sitting right next to me right now.
Really?
You
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, you're my favorite.
Are you?
You're my
You're
favorite.
local to this area, right?
Oh, that's sweet. Yes, I play at Red Note Gaming.
Part of why you're my
Nice.
favorite. You're rested. You're in your zone. You play on these cabs all the time. I was whining about how I'm not used to play on these cabs because I play on my own personal one too much.
Well,
I'm spoiled.
We'll see.
We will
Top
have to
bracket
see.
should be very interesting when we get there. But
It's
we are
gonna
not
be
there,
spicy.
So, yeah, no, we are preparing for God,
The
this draw.
orange division.
this draw. Is so funny. Like,
Oh.
how does this happen?
We had to redraw a few of them because they were had some of the most misrated charts, and then we got to orange division and we said these are really tough. Let's keep them. Especially as we got further up, we didn't want to redraw anything and kind of skew the outcomes because this is the orange division. 6 people are going to advance from the orange division.
That's true.
6 people
Yes,
advance. Wow.
2 are going to advance into the winners division of red, or the winner's side of red division, the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 4 are going to go into an automatic losers division, and then 2 people are eliminated from here. But
I
of the 8 people in this division, 6 of them do go on. 4 of them just go into the finals, like the final 12, with a loss on their record.
Right. All right.
Which is good because I would not want to bet on like getting first or second on any of these charts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting
This
right
is
into
tough one.
Cryosleep. Yeah, if you're familiar with In the Groove 2 officials, this chart is going to look very familiar because you see it has those like 3-note 30-second bursts that are really hard to time. Like this is probably one of, if not the hardest 21 to get like a good score on. Seems like they're doing pretty well so far.
We got Issa on the left
Yeah.
and Bobby slash
WDRM.
on the right.
Okay, we have this.
Ooh, it
slowdown.
triplets? Why is it triplets?
Yeah, on the other charts they're like broken like 30-second rhythms. I mean, I guess they're going to like that really quiet synth. So yeah. So like the attack isn't like super well defined, so you can kind of get away with it, but it is weird.
Yeah, I think in the ITG chart it was triplets. That is technically an incorrect rhythm, and someone noted this in when they brought the same rhythm
Okay,
back.
they're actually. Oh yeah.
Yeah, to the wild, they brought that triplet rhythm back, and somebody's like, this is not actually correct. So they fixed it. Now it's the broken 30-second, like you said.
But
I
only on the
guess-
wild. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the full, it's still the good.
It's a tribute to ITG. Okay.
Yeah.
We were not really talking too much about the players there, which is unfortunate. But looks like Issa took a small lead on that. Got 5 stars, which on that is
That's a tough
nothing to sneeze at.
That's my
Like,
girl.
Yeah,
yeah.
like 27
boy.
and a late to 37 and a miss. Oh yeah, no. Love both of these competitors very much. All right, so now we're getting into Esperanza.
Ooh, Esperanza.
On paper, not too intimidating, and then you actually play it.
And it feels like a 23.
Yeah,
Does it have the 16th jacks that the Wild does?
It doesn't have 16th jacks. What it does have is just a lot of really tricky patterns, some really whippy stuff near the end, and a lot of very interesting center panel tech, like some weird jumps, some
and no
sort of
brakes.
really tight. Yeah, well, there's a stop. That's a big break.
A stop.
It just
A
wears
break.
you out.
Two
Like
breaks. Got one break.
if it was 20 seconds longer, you could get a way higher score on it, or 20 seconds shorter. Sorry.
Right. If the halt was 20 seconds long.
Yeah,
No.
it is also one of those charts that just like ramps up in difficulty as it goes. Like this beginning part is fine. A few bursts, some
Jumps.
tricky jumps, but nothing. Well,
What
it
are
ramps
the-
up.
What are the mines supposed to be indicating?
Are those supposed to be switches?
No, they're not switches. I think they're just for effects, or
They're just mines?
you know, sometimes you just want to put mines in a chart. It's fine. Yeah, so
I
we have
see.
those like really technical gallops, moving you around a decent bit too. You can see, those tight
Those-
then
those
center panels.
Like the kind of crossover-ish, crossover lights. The center.
And then you got like a nice bursty section, stop.
And here's where your heart rate's just pumping, and you say like, "Oh, I'm doing good. I can make it," and it just
then-
doesn't stop.
yep. She said as the chart like actually stopped, but you know. Looks like WDRM has a slight advantage here, about like 1,000. Well, I think it might have actually come down like
It's close.
between when I
Yeah,
looked
that
and said
that
that.
miss
So
dropped his lead considerably.
yeah, Issa's still holding a full combo.
Yeah, she's getting some
a
greats.
couple. Yeah, like
Very impressive. on
okay,
these.
yeah, that whippy pattern is really hard. So if you are going to miss in the chart, that's a reasonable place.
Miss
Yep.
right at the end for Issa. Oof.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like that chart just kind of ramps up.
just
97
gets
on
harder
that,
and
still
harder and harder.
perfectly respectable. WDRM with the 98.7. That
That's
is
a great score.
that is really good.
Very nice. All right.
So now we're getting into the 23s, which are the easiest part of the draw. Like just
Oh yeah, Katana Fighter.
completely like
Katana Fighter,
upfront.
you just gotta. It's just 16th notes on a nice stream at a good tempo. You just
Yeah.
you just tap it out with your hands, and you say, "Oh, I do this with my feet." And there's
Yeah.
no tricks to it. It's just
Yeah, the Wild
Yeah.
was also originally rated at 23, and they bumped it down because it really just doesn't have that much difficulty going on.
yeah.
It's just kind of straightforward 16th rhythms at a very, moderate tempo.
Right, like 135 or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, there are like a couple runs in the second half, but nothing too long. Like
Yeah.
this isn't like the lowest 23 in the game, but it's still pretty tame. Which after those first two, I imagine they appreciate that very much.
Right.
Yeah, so you do still have like a couple little runs in there, as you can see, but it's all fairly broken. The syncopation can be like kind of tough to lock into. They seem to be doing pretty well though.
both players love this song.
It's a good one.
It makes you feel like you're playing like Streets of Rage or some
Oh,
Sega
yeah.
Sega beat 'em up.
For sure.
Yeah. Is
Um,
Electro the same artist that did the Call of Wilderness?
Yes.
I never actually put that together. Oh.
If I'm wrong, I'm looking this up to see if
I
I'm wrong.
think that's right. It looks like Issa picked up a couple earlys or lates. I guess it's yeah. So
Here's the nice break.
is that what they call it? Just like greats if it's an early or a late? It's like a catch-all.
it's kind of
Okay.
the, general.
I mean that works. It's understood for dance gamers.
What's the
Okay.
great, Zom?
A great is an early or late.
Because you'll see like the combos like change color, and
Right.
that's supposed to indicate like
It changes to the same color as the early.
looks like oh my god.
99's for
Wow.
me, but Pavi getting a hex
Wow.
star.
So well he like broke the
screen
cap
capture
feed
for
for
half
a
a
second.
second.
Okay, 5 on that. Yeah, so that's ridiculous.
Both members of Team Puppy Cat bringing it.
This is-
Bobby bringing it extra right
a
now.
reminder that this is not even the top division, so yeah.
I mean, that's
wow.
the skills that you got to have if you want to get up there on the winner's
Absolutely.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's just messing up like
Making-
one little pattern. Costing
Yeah.
a lot of score. But still ending up with a 98. That's still a great score.
oh no, she got a 99.
She got a 99.
Yeah,
Oh, what,
Yeah, they
99?
both hit
Right.
99.
yeah
That's right.
99.08 or something. But yeah,
Great score.
So-
Now, Music is Moving, which I always get the name of wrong. It's another Fast Tatsu no Shin song.
Yep, 160 BPM. Tech-wise, this isn't really too demanding. It's fairly straightforward, but it is 160 BPM and has actual runs across the pad. So
Yep.
if you're not warmed up, have fun.
You got to know what is coming up.
You've got to, in fact, move like the music. Just do exactly what the song tells you to do. So it opens with like these little gallops to like the vocal sort of chops. Yeah, you already see like a little
There's
run
that
like
run.
there. They both hit it.
Is that a foot
they look-
switch?
That is a foot switch. Yeah, there's,
Unmarked foot switch. Oh boy.
yeah. I mean, it's broken enough that if you don't realize it's a foot switch, you can double step and correct it without too much difficulty. Yeah, you see another little run. Bobby picking up an early on there. Issa's still.
Oh, you did
I
it. You
didn't even
cursed it.
finish the sentence. That's terrible. But I mean, they're both still holding a full combo. Yep. Okay, more foot switches like that.
Bobby
Don't
just
curse
a
him like
little
that.
bit- Bobby just a little bit ahead, but within a few hundred points.
Yeah, like this is pretty. Oh, the scores are in the center.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Trying to
Cool.
trying to look out
All right.
Wait
yeah,
till
no,
you
that's-
notice what else is going on with the scores in the streams.
with the sync up. Yeah, we have
A little bit of magic going on here.
to sync
Okay.
them up perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, so small lead. Yeah, okay. The last little bit of this run has a few. A little bit of this chart has a few more little runs that we'll see in a second. Yeah, like that.
There's that run.
That transition is like. I mean, that's moving you across the pads like pretty quickly. Bobby.
Oh no!
Bobby gets the full combo. Gets a gets a
You
yellow on the
see
lift,
on his
but
face that
He
he's
was
upset about
upset.
that.
Oh my God.
Upset at the last run, and then he didn't pick his foot up for that lift.
oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, 98.8 on that is still like 98.8. God.
Yeah.
But
I'm
he's
just such
going
an
up
ITG
against
player.
Iromi and Grady and MCAT and Pilot and Senpai in this division,
Yeah,
as
I
well
mean-
as Issa. He did outscore Issa on that song.
Yeah. You can't
Yeah.
get in your head. You know, when you mess
The
something
absolute
up.
disrespect to
Oh.
Telperion right there, like listing literally everyone else.
Yeah.
I missed one. No,
No
I haven't
disrespect.
watched a lot of Telperion this year. All these other people, they have streams. These two stream together.
Telperion has charts in the game though. Like
That's true.
Like 2 charts in the game.
Well, you know, that's
More
more
than
charts
that.
than you got. What? Hey, ooh. Got you there.
You did give me there. So we mentioned foot switches a lot in that last chart. What's a foot switch, T-Swag?
So a foot switch is when you have two panels on 2 steps on the same panel in a row, so like 2 lefts or 2 centers, but you're supposed to alternate feet when hitting them. So in that chart, we saw a lot of patterns that were like left, center, center, right, or vice versa. And those center panels, you are supposed to, the first one, you in that example, you would hit with your right foot, and the second with your left. So foot switch, because you switch what foot is
That
on
way
the
that you
panel.
can move your body accordingly, so
Right.
you're in the correct position.
Speaking of moving your body, show you. This is a lot. Like, this chart is just a lot. A lot of the upper end 24s have, like, a specific thing. This is just, like, a lot of things. So,
Move
like,
fast.
yeah, right off the bat, you have a little run there. You have those bursts, these little triplets in turns. Oh, wow, they're really close. You see those jumps that I think you're supposed to hit crossed over. Like, they're slow enough
Is that
you
what
can
you're supposed to do?
Yeah, oh yeah. And then you have this, like, broken 24th gallop section that's moving you around, yeah, and then one with, like, a crossover in it, just for good measure. Yeah, that part is really hard. Like, really hard. You get a little break, then you get, like, these stretchy 8th patterns where you're supposed to, like, move one foot back and forth a very wide distance. Get like another little run here,
East
some
is
rhythms.
a little bit shorter, so she's getting some
Yeah.
stretchy stuff. She might be missing
Very,
some of those.
very height bias type patterns. Then you get these patterns that are like, hey, you can see like WDRM like actually. Well, he was
He's just-
alternating feet.
he's just double
They both are. That pattern is really hard to actually do, like legit. Also, I think there's like
physically painful.
also there's like actually a double step in there, like on the jump. So
Oh yeah.
you actually can't do it entirely legit. Then there's nice little holds because you deserve a break
Just
right
a
at the
little
end.
break.
Still
Yeah,
very close scores
yeah,
from the 90s.
mid 94, mid high 95. Yeah, no,
I mean,
on that chart,
those are legitimately good scores.
Yeah.
This song is so tough.
like
Ooh.
that is, if you could have drawn any 24 in the game, that would be like probably no one's choice. Like
Yeah.
that chart is hard, regardless of like what your skill set is.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so we're going up
Got
to
Grady,
Grady
and
and Telperion.
Telperion. Ooh. This might be
Okay.
a spicy match.
Yeah, so Grady fairly notable as a fairly high-ranking wild mode player, but dabbles in full, has gotten some pretty good scores on that. Telperion, mostly an ITG guy, but has some charts in this game. He wrote like what? Become Astral, Temple of Boom, Your Own Destiny, and then for some reason no one's sure about Indignation. So
I
he-
like Indignation.
I keep thinking
Have you
that
played
he
the full
did
23?
Secret
I have
Time
not
12.
played.
That's
I have not
Okay.
played the full
Wiggers.
23 in a while.
It's one of those charts that's very cool in concept. It did not come up, so I don't want to elaborate on that. They're just warming up. Okay, Grady picking Contrast, fairly, despite being a fairly high tempo chart, fairly low key for a 21. Has like those rolls. And I guess we are not going to see Telperion's warm up, so it's a mystery.
We're not going to see me
Oh wait, no,
anymore either.
we are
You're-
going to see it. Oh, you're stepping
you're-
out.
Yeah, I'm stepping out. You're doing great, champ.
Okay, cool.
Good job.
Well,
I've got a tournament to go. Like
We'll hold down the
Outrun.
fort.
There's a tournament here.
Where
something.
is
Like
that
there's a
happening?
concert tomorrow night.
Is
Like
it-
it's kind of
Really, who's playing?
All right, do your.
some Naoki Miyada, I think is his name.
Oh,
Something like that.
Zephyr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
Cool.
do your thing. We'll hold down the fort.
Yep. All right. Oh wow. Speaking of which, he's warming up with a Naoki song.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
thought you were gonna say
BU44.
Naoki's warming up as.
No.
Hey, BU44. That looks familiar, doesn't it?
For the twins?
What?
Naoki Maeda, isn't he the pitcher for like the twins at one time?
Might be. Cannot confirm nor deny. Yes, we've got this nice bag swag with the BU44. Telperion picking a great song to warm up on. Very fitting.
Still waiting for them to drop the BU44 voltage special in the game, but that would probably only appeal to DDR converts.
I don't think the Groove Radar has much value in the current year, in the current meta.
I mean, they removed it for DDR World,
That's
so
true.
I think Konami would agree with you there.
You know, I think they're at this point it's just confusing. Why is it called a voltage special? You know, like,
Yeah, I mean, Dead End Groove Radar is now just Dead End Special.
It's just.
It is still a very special
It's just
chart,
a
so
dead
that
end. makes
makes sense. But yeah, he's still gold. That's cool. Yeah, BU4.
very
Four,
nice.
okay,
Get
yep.
a hex star on that.
Yeah, 99.8 on a warm up, so he is
That could
locking
warm
in.
up well. All right. So, first song is going to be Cryo Sleep 21.
Yeah.
As we said, it's similar to the ITG charts.
Mm-hmm.
Has the kind of the ITG rhythms in there with the 30-second bursts and the triplets during the slowdowns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
I don't know.
as we were sort of saying last time this got played, this is maybe the hardest 21 to score on. Like physically, there are worse ones because physically there's ones that just like whip you around really fast. But
Right. The most physically demanding
Yes.
part of this is probably all the jumps and the streams at the end.
Yeah, the 16s at the end are still nothing to sneeze at. Like when I say it's not the hardest, that's because it's competing with like Ghosts and Psalm Pilot and whatnot. But those 30 seconds are they're very tough to score on. They're both still gold. Okay, I didn't want to say that right before a burst, but okay. Also, this last burst right before the slowdown, that's actually really tricky because A, it's not in the same place as the other ones, like it's a 16 sooner, and B, it goes into like a jack on the down arrow. Also, the sync on this part coming out of the slowdown is like really weird. They seem to be.
I mean, this part is a different cut than the ITG.
Right, like it actually, yeah, that
It
part
has
is
like the breakdown section.
Yeah, that break is not in the ITG cut. It definitely probably threw a lot of ITG players playing it for the first time. Otherwise, it's mostly the same. Looks like Telperion has a small lead, about 500 points going into the really dense part. Pattern-wise, this is yeah.
This is where you can make or break your run.
Yeah, I mean, Telperion still holding gold. Brady's still doing respectably.
Getting those perfects.
Yeah, no,
It was really
okay.
just like a miss or two right towards the middle.
yeah, like they both.
Yeah, miss.
They both still got a 98. Grady actually got fewer perfects. Just yeah.
They were just a little bit wide.
Right.
I think especially on those slowdown sections, it can be really
Yeah,
tough to
it's
time.
very very hard to lock into that. Like, it follows that really quiet synth that
Mm-hmm.
not even like the step artists in this game can agree like what rhythm it follows. So
Right.
like as a player, you're kind of on your own there. And now we are getting into Esperanza, which is just again a very tricky 22. So
Whipping you. Whop, whop, whop,
yeah,
whop.
whips you around, has like a bunch of gallops, weird patterns. This is probably one where if you have experience with like full mode patterns, that's going to really help. So we'll see how that affects these two players. Like Brady mostly playing singles, dabbling in full, and Telperion being fairly versed in doubles, but I don't know how often he plays the game. Maybe got like those little jumps.
Yeah, I think Grady definitely has the
Brady is
single player.
Brady is still white, so his timing is on point.
Yeah, he's got the
I do
single
not
player-
expect that to hold. So that is not a commentator's curse. Like you're not going to APC Esperanza in a tournament.
We got in front of him.
I take no responsibility there. Okay, so these gallops, like, they don't move around a whole lot, but, like, those gallops where you have one foot hitting the same arrow twice in a row are pretty tricky. That center, like,
Yeah,
that
that
right up center
center.
panel is really tight.
But they both got it. Now
Yeah,
they're getting in
yeah, no,
early
they're
on it.
both getting in really, really well going
Very
into
impressive.
the jump
Holding it tight.
section. Looks like Brady has a small lead. Yeah, those little jumps, those really whippy gallops. You could probably foot switch some of them. I haven't played around with it, but it looked like that could work. Again, those patterns are very whippy. Looks like Brady picked up a miss somewhere. Telperion still holding gold.
I think
Yeah,
they're
these-
both respecting the patterning, doing the things they're supposed to be doing as
Right.
the chart author intended.
Right.
Because if you don't do it, then you're probably
Yeah, on a chart like this, that's, oh my god, 996? Are you kidding? That is, what the heck?
That's an
That is really
insane
good.
Score.
They got the same white count. That's kind of funny, but wow. I mean, yeah, 299s on that is still really good. Like,
Oh man.
but yeah, well, that is one of the trickier 22s in the game. So getting a near hex on that is crazy, actually. So yeah, no,
that is insane.
Telperion has come to play. I would say he looks good to advance already, but
I mean,
as
I
we sort of said
assume-
at the start, like 6 out of 8 advance. So
Right.
he has made a statement. Okay,
All you have to do is not end up in bottom two. and you
right?
advance.
Yeah, just push through the next 3.
Yeah, the more you work towards it, the closer you can be to the top two.
Oh,
who get to
you
be
have,
on
like,
the winner's
standings
side.
over there. Okay, that's
Yep.
Um,
So the top two get into the red division on winner's side,
Mm-hmm.
and the next 4 move up to red division on loser's side, and the bottom 2 are out.
right. So
of the 8 players in orange division here.
right. So even if most people advance, you do probably want to be on the winner side because
Right.
even if you end up facing like like they'd be what 7th and 8th seeds, so they face myself for Paranoia Boy. Those are still.
I do not.
At this level, those are still winnable matches. Like knowing who is in
it's
here,
possible.
seeing the scores they're getting. Like anything could happen in a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, especially on full,
right.
where like you're more likely to be like just
Yeah,
you
like,
push
so-
up instead of down on the pad
Right,
as you're
like-
like reaching way over there.
Yes, so much more can go wrong playing full in a tournament. Like, your weight just shifts in the wrong direction, or you just don't commit to a turn quite enough. Yeah, so you do want to be in like the top 2, because the bottom 4 will advance, but already with a loss on their record. Right.
Right.
So,
You want all the advantages that you can get.
okay, so looking at this, they're really close going into the break. Looks like Grady has a small lead, but like less than 100.
It's so close. I can't even tell who's
Yeah,
ahead.
could change with this last part because there are a few like denser sections.
Right, yeah. Here comes the burst.
They seem to be locked in though.
Like the mini streams, bursts, and mini
Looks
streams.
like.
All right, we're
Oh
nearing
my
the
God, are
end.
they tied?
No way.
Okay, no, they are not. They are not tied. They might have been at one point, but
They are so close, dude.
Wow.
Holy crap.
yeah. So
Grady getting
99796.
that 6-star.
Yeah, again, another hex on a 23, and a very near hex like 9966, just
Yeah, I
a
think-
couple of perfects away.
Toperion actually picked up a couple perfects right at the very end there.
Yeah, so still an extremely respectable score.
Oh, yeah.
Like WDRM retains his first on that, because 5 on that is still really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, neither of those scores are anything to sneeze at.
Very impressive.
So Grady vibing to one of the new update songs before getting into that, which is fair because that song only dropped like 2 days ago.
Yep.
So they've been pretty popular around here. I've noticed. It's
I forgot if I asked you. Have you checked them out yet?
I have played all of the update on full. It is. There's a lot. The charts are
Yeah.
mostly pretty good. Paranoid 25 is really hard and probably not a 25. I was like nitpicking charts, I could say things, but that is not what we're here for. We're here for music is moving and these two. So yeah, that little run, they both comboed. I couldn't tell if they did the foot switch or not.
Yeah, the music is moving, having a little bit of everything, a lot of bursts.
Yeah, some runs where you really do have to have good control, like being able to shift
You gotta
between
know
pads.
where you're going.
Right. So it looks like Telperion picked up N early on that last little run. Grady still holding gold.
Yep. Greedy.
I never want to say that unless it's like a really easy section. But yeah, no, they're still doing well. Looks like they got those foot switches. Yeah, these pad transitions are fine. So it'll probably just come down to the runs at the end of the chart.
Yep. We're after this little break section. Come back into it.
It's really funny, playing doubles when you have, a break section and it's still,
And it
jumping
jumps
across the
across the
pads.
pad.
So, yes, it's easier than the rest of the chart, but, you still have to move. Looks like Grady picked up a miss. Telperion nailed that run. Yeah, Grady got another miss. Telperion holding his full combo. Hits the... Oh, my God, he got a 99. Okay, wow.
9.
Wow, he has come to
Insane.
play.
Getting just that
Yeah.
one early towards the beginning of the song.
Right, and that one
Yeah.
run, but everything else really solid.
Yeah, I would say that Grady may be running out of energy, but that's not a thing that Grady does.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't play full mode too much, it can
That's true.
sneak up on you.
That's true. Grady tends to practice, do warm ups on 24s and 25s.
Right, yeah,
on
again.
singles.
Yeah, he is an extremely good wild mode player, so.
Right, but full it can gas you. It can really gas you, even if you're like a stamina master. If you're not used to whipping back and forth across those pads.
Right. It's also just a lot easier to lose your place, right? Especially
Right.
when you're going back and forth.
Yeah,
you know,
because you need to know, as you're transitioning, am I supposed to cross over or cross under? If you're
Right.
not immediate, like if you don't have that ready before you start doing it, you're just gonna be off in so many different ways.
Right. And you also like really have to pay attention to like sort of what the pad transition looks like. Like, are you going to the up arrow, the center, or the down? Like, there is so much more like momentum considerations that you don't really see in Wild. Okay, so we're getting into Show You again, which, as we said last time, this chart is a lot.
It just has a bit of everything.
Yeah, like right off the bat, you see like those kind of tricky crossovers, the jacks, the little
24th
run.
burst.
Yeah, those 24th bursts. Telperion holding gold.
Even in this triplet crossover section, that's like
Yeah. So then we get into these gallops. This is
if they
part is crazy.
if they didn't move you across the pad, they'd be like, okay,
yeah. I mean that's
24th
kind of
gallop.
like what the wild chart does,
Right,
right?
yeah.
It has those same gallops, but it's only on one pad.
Right, but
So-
this one, you're like moving.
Yeah, no, you are
while you're
moving a
doing
lot
it.
while doing that. Yeah, no, it is extremely hard, even by 24 standards. So it looks like they're doing well on the runs. Telperion is doing a thing.
My God.
He is. Yeah, looks like.
Oh, but here comes this.
Oh my God, he's actually
section.
like. They're both doing the turns. Okay, like we saw Issa and
That's
WDRM.
crazy.
They gave up and started doubles. So what? Why is he still go? Oh.
That was nuts.
Okay,
I mean,
that
the 24th
was actually a
that's
legitimate curse
that's-
because
that's a reasonable place to drop
Oh
that.
yeah, no, absolutely. Like that rhythm is really tough, especially after all of that. Like,
yeah, doing all that.
like your body has been like contorting around, and suddenly you have to correct and do like across the pads, mind you. So. Yeah,
Oh, boy.
that was an extremely long yellow combo, and still a very solid score, 97.5. Yeah, so Telperion looking very good to advance already, even with only like 4 people
What
having
score was
gone.
that? Like a 90.
97.5, yeah.
97.5. That is nuts.
And again, that is on one of the hardest 24s in the game.
Ooh, all right. So we're getting MCAT here. Who
Yeah,
are we
so-
getting on the other?
MCAT,
Probably
Inglomi. Oh, it's
All
Inglomi.
right.
Oh boy. Okay, so
Nice.
Inglomi, I think he's the top seed in this division, like seeded 7th. So
Yes,
very
I
much
believe
expected to
so.
advance, and
Yeah.
he has some extremely good scores on full mode. He APC'd a full 23 last month, which
It's-
not a whole lot of people have done.
When I talked to him about it, he's like, "I like never play full mode." I'm like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah, so
you
he's
have
just like-
insane scores."
So he's just like holding back. Like,
He
imagine
really
if he
is.
actually committed. Like
Now he will try.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like he would be scary. I mean, he's still scary.
He's already
if I had to
scary.
face him, I would be concerned.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how
So-
things shake out because
Yeah, I'm actually kind of really hoping he doesn't win this division.
because he might be against
Like
you.
the logic doesn't really track because like you'd think if someone beat him they'd be better, but I don't know. It's just vibes, right? So
Yeah.
okay, so MCAT warming up with Need You, which is a fairly new dropped a few months ago.
Yeah.
Good to like. It's a good one to warm up with because it opens with like that little drill, so you know, like you get your legs loosened
Yeah,
up.
getting a little loosey
Also, it's just a
goosey
really
moved
good
up.
song.
Yeah, yeah.
I think like
Um,
the artist who made it like actually posted a video on social media saying, "Oh my God, I'm in an arcade game." It's
Yeah.
like,
She
really
went
wholesome.
to the
Yeah.
found an arcade with Step Maniacs to go play her own song. That was
Yeah,
so
like,
wholesome.
that's
I
great.
loved
Like,
that.
You love to
Oh.
see that
Oh yeah, I love it. We need more of that.
for sure.
But yeah, I mean the difficulties of the songs kind of ramp up from 21, 22, 23, 24.
Right.
So you probably want to warm up on something a little bit easier.
Yeah, like
because-
an easier 21 maybe. So like this is the same difficulty as Cryo Sleep, but timing wise it's a lot easier. Still does a lot of stuff. Like those turns, you know, they will whip you around. Like those drills, you have to lock in. And it has like those little rhythms. Yeah, you know, this is a very good warm up pick. I like this a lot.
yeah.
Inglomi is leaving. Well, Inglomi probably not leaving his warm up mystery, but the stream is
Yeah.
probably warmed up with like.
Oh, you can see
what
people
it's-
jamming in the background.
Yeah, no, I mean that is
It's
what
a
it is
jam.
for.
It's a
Yeah,
bop.
it's a jam, as we said. this
that's-
slowdown that doesn't actually affect anything because the song's
Yeah, I don't.
over.
I don't think any chart actually has any notes after that besides a hold note on the slowdown.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the song does slow down, so it's accurate. But I guess, yeah, they just didn't want to chart there, which...
Yeah, there's some other song that has like a slow or a speed up before the song starts.
I Want Your Balalaika?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Which,
that's
I
the
mean,
one.
that's... Before the arrows start, that's harder, because, like, it makes it harder to lock in.
Right, you can't be like, I'm ghost stepping what the timing is. You're
Right, I mean, you can, but... yeah, A, it's speeding up, and
It's a
B, it's
whole
just
thing.
like some Russian guy going la 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 la. I assume they're Russian. I don't actually know, but
he's actually European pretending to be Russian. Europeans, they don't believe in cultural appropriation. That's why we have Dr. Bombay
Right.
and what else is Carlito. That's a Swedish
I mean,
guy.
they're the same guy. But
It's
yeah.
the same guy
Yeah, he-
pretending to be whatever.
Right, originally pretended.
You
to
know
be
what?
Like,
If we get more representation of those other musical styles, sure, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to cancel Kyle Ward or anything.
Right. Okay. So Inglomi was warming up with "Color My Love." Okay.
Ooh, a 22.
Yeah, a
it's
22.
it's a fairly straightforward 22.
Yeah,
it's
like it's slow, has some nice broken rhythms. Really, it's like an easier katana fighter. So
right. Yeah.
like
So-
that is it's a
so-
good one to warm up, and he hexed it. So
Hexed it,
off to
so-
a good start.
you can see him mentally preparing himself.
It's
yeah.
about all you can do at this point.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I personally know Nglomi very well. He's in the Houston scene. Between him, Steve Snowman, who is also very prolific on the full leaderboards,
very.
and Jelly Slosh, who's TOing right now, also very prolific on the full
Yep.
full leaderboards.
Those are both top 10
you know,
players.
they're all-
Steve, top 5. So.
Yeah, they're all always going back and forth on our Houston locals. So I love getting to see him in this broader, national space,
Right,
competing
yeah.
against some of the tournament regulars like MCAT here.
For sure. I think last Red October, he had to actually drop out of the full mode tournament because he had
Right.
to catch an early flight.
That was my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't actually
It was,
realize that was your
yeah.
fault.
We flew in together.
There was absolutely
both
no shade there. It was-
then and here. It was. I'm gonna take that blame on that 100% of the day.
He's
It was
still
not
white.
his fault.
Why is he still white? But it's gonna be nice to see him actually be able to like play out a full mode tournament and
Yeah.
see how far he can do. 'Cause-
Get to see his full, how
Yeah.
far he can go.
So certainly doing really well on here. Like he had a very long white combo, just lost it at that last little burst, which, as we said previously, is like a lot harder than the other bursts.
Those
'cause,
bursts are hard
yeah,
to time.
Like going from that burst into a 16th jack takes a lot of control. Okay, so he's doing still really well.
MCAT picking up a miss or two
Yeah.
around the slowdown,
Yeah, so-
pretty much in the same places. Glomy picked up
Right.
that
So we got into this like slowdown with rhythms that are charted to things. And Glomi's still holding his gold combo.
Here's the 16th run.
That is safe to say. Yep. So they're both doing pretty well. On he got a miss. Okay.
Got that miss, but
Thought it was
still,
all right.
still about
Yeah, still
1,000, 2,000 points
still ahead here. They're both timing this pretty well. At that last little burst, 994.
Very nice.
Okay, that is
Very good scores.
really good.
7 and a miss.
Wow. Yeah, 7 on that is ridiculous.
That's insane. I
Like-
mean, that's the top of the bracket so far.
Absolutely. That might have been a hex without the miss, which
I think
again,
it
that's
would've
like the hardest 21 to time. Like that was the last 21 that I hexed, and the last 21 that like Dante APC'd. Like it is really
It's a
hard.
tough
So yeah, no, that is
incredible scores.
an extremely good score.
Whoa. All right, moving on to Esperanza.
Yep. So extremely tricky 22. He's all right, getting the rhythms down.
All right, getting going. Now, if you're just tuning in now, this one does not have the 16th jacks like the Wild does, but that doesn't mean it's less hard.
No, because it's on full mode, so you've got to
So
move,
much more
and
movement.
oh boy, does it move you around.
It basically has like crossovers in 16th gallops.
Extremely wide crossovers too, especially at the end. Like, this is one of those charts that kind of just ramps up. So the beginning, not really too bad. But wait, the beginning's at 25. Yeah, you know what I mean.
We know what you mean. They did
yeah.
add that.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's
lower
a
pool.
19 now on full. It's very, very fun chart. Okay, so anyway, Esperanza. So yeah, they're jumping around a bit. You see a few gallops. They're pretty close together right now. Looks like Gloomy has a very small lead, but very small. Could shift easily. Yeah, you've got those. The gallops into jacks is like a brutal combination. Like you've got to be really locked in to, get all whites there. Looks like Inglomi did a bit better on that. Okay, you got those weird jump patterns, that weird center panel, those really wide turns. It is so easy to drift when you're like moving across the pads like that, even if it's like an easier section of the chart. You've got like the little stops.
Both gold.
Yeah, they're both handling
jumps.
this really well. Like those gallops, like you said, whips you around really quickly. I think you can switch them.
Holy crap.
Again. Yeah, MCAT picking up a miss.
Ooh, so glowing.
Oh, they both missed. Okay.
I mean, yeah, this section is very tough, as you said.
Yeah, and it just like keeps getting tougher. Like those jacks, those turns. There's like a really whippy thing there. Yeah, like yeah. So
Gotta get over there.
this one
I
of
think
those
that
charts
was where several players missed.
Yeah, I mean, so playing full mode is really funny because like you look at like the sort of the layout of the panels and like P1 up and P2 down don't look like they're very far apart because there's only like the center things between them.
That's always what gets
So you'll
me.
see like a lot of patterns in SMX where you'll go from like P2 down to P1 up. And that's actually a lot of movement, it turns out.
It's gigantic.
Like that is just what that chart did at the end. And yeah, really easy to pick up a great or a miss there. So yeah.
That's why I'm always misreading patterns in full because of that. Because like when you've got 10 panels that you have to account for, the distance that they are on screen does not indicate how far they are on the pads at all.
Right. Yeah, like compared to like P1 down to P2 up, it's the same distance, but they're like
way
you
further apart
can't
on
see the
screen.
commentary cam, but like you know what the SMX layout looks like. Yeah, they're really far apart, but it's the same distance.
Right.
Okay, so we're getting into like the sort of cooldown chart of that. Okay, standings wise, it looks like Inglomi got second on that last one with a 994. So yeah, he's in very good shape between that and his cryo sleep. Yeah, MCAT with a very high 97 on Esperanza. That's still extremely respectable. Now we're getting into Katana Fighter. Ooh, and Globy got it early. So, yeah, they're both doing pretty well on these, like, broken rhythms. And you've got, like, these gallops. Gallops are a little tricky, because, like, you have those rhythms where it seems like there's a note missing at the start, so, you've got to, like, account for that somehow.
Yeah, because it like starts on just like a single quarter note, and then you start galloping.
And then you remove the quarter note. Yeah. Okay, there's like the little run. Looks like they both hit that very well. This is really close. I think MCAT has like a slight lead. All because of that early that Inglomi got. Yeah, they're basically neck and neck.
I think they're actually tied now.
Oh, what? How? That's not supposed to happen in this game. Like, why do you have seven yellow?
Many windows.
Why do you have 7 yellow windows if you're just gonna tie? Okay, I think
Just keep
I
going
actually
back
can't
and
tell.
forth. Holy crap! It's all come down to this ending here.
Oh my God, MCAT takes that. Wow.
Oh, just
Wow.
barely.
Like a 69 nice point difference between them. Yeah, 11 to 9 in a great. So
That's insane.
Inglomi probably got like slightly better yellows because usually a grade is like, I don't know, 5 or 6 yellows
it's
equivalent.
About, at the tightest window, it is 6.5 yellows.
Okay.
But most of the time, we're not always perfect.
Right.
the
Yeah,
tightest
stuff.
window there.
You drift,
So-
especially on full. But yeah, no, very, very close. Very good scores from both of them.
But of course, all the scores in this gauntlet format are ranked against the other players' scores. So
Right.
a 99 is a great score, but how does it
Yeah,
compare
you're
to
still
your
comparing that
opponent's
to like
99s?
Telperion and WDRM and
Yep.
Grady. So
So
yeah, I mean, it's still nice to get a good score like that in a tournament, regardless of how like your opponents do. Right, 99.5, 99.6 on a 23, like that feels good, right?
Yeah. You
like
gotta we take those.
like these
We
are-
take those.
like these are very upper end charts. So getting into music is moving. Like we said, generally a straightforward ish chart, but you've got to move.
Yep, we saw one of these mistakes where the players didn't press the buttons at the exact same time. But
Oh, okay.
we have movie magic. So Desktop Man actually wrote something to automatically sync the player cams or like the
Oh.
game cams, so that
Even if they're not synced in real life, they still sync
they
on the
sync
stream.
up automatically. So we can look at their scores, and we know exactly who's ahead because their scores.
I mean, mostly to the extent that you can
Right, yeah.
parse
I mean,
scrolling
the-
5-digit
those,
numbers.
those
But yeah,
numbers are rolling fast, but we can see that
Yeah.
Inglomi is just a little
has
bit
like
ahead.
400 or 500 point lead.
Yeah,
God,
very
technology is
close.
so crazy.
It's
Like, How do
amazing.
people come up with that?
I know,
Like,
right?
I'm just here to hit arrows,
It's,
man.
the future is here.
For sure. So Inglomi holding gold. So
Yeah, this is a tough chart. MCAT picking up a miss.
Still plenty of chart to go. Like those runs at the end are pretty rough.
Yeah, here's the
The
quote unquote break.
The break, yeah.
It's just jumping across the pad back and forth.
Those
But
charts just kind of ramps up again. Yeah, like looks like Inglomi has a decent lead at this point. Still
all right, we burst in.
doing a thing.
Burst in
Those-
the
okay,
runs
that's
across
what we
the
were saying,
pad.
like that run across the
Ooh,
pads.
yeah,
Ooh,
it's so
he missed after the run.
After
yeah,
the run.
Oh boy, that was a lot of early. Okay, he's still 99'd. All right, never mind. False alarm. He's good. We're good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He
Wow.
only got one miss.
Wow. Yeah. 992 on that.
He got
like
18 yellows, but they were all at the very end.
Yeah, like the ending, okay, he drifted early, but if you do well enough on the rest of the chart, that
still
doesn't really
end up
matter.
with a 99?
MCAT's still getting like a mid 96 on that. Like, again, that's.
Oh my god.
I say that chart is straightforward. That doesn't mean it's easy.
Yeah.
It just means it's like not very technical. You still gotta
Right.
move.
You got
Um,
moved. This is full. We don't let anybody just sit on the pads,
Right.
and even more so, show you.
Oh yeah. Show you.
It'd be showing you how to have a good time.
One of the hardest 24s. So yeah, if you. Oh, she's sorting by alphabet. I was like, those difficulties are very small, but okay. Very small, and they're like 18s, but
We got
it's all
a
relative.
lot of full
yeah.
charts now.
Yeah, like over 600 with like the last couple updates.
Yep, especially with, we're filling in the older songs, the plus charts, getting those.
Right. Well,
And I guess,
yeah.
and filling in the minus charts,
Right.
I suppose.
Yeah, full minus. Like there was an update recently where like a bunch of 22s and below got lower fulls, which is good to see. Like, it's nice that people can play feels just like that night without having to actually stream like
Right.
135 across the pads. I think they have said that they are trying to like give every chart 2 full charts.
Yeah.
Which
I think they're trying to even it out. They don't want to have like a 23 and a 24, right?
Right.
That like doesn't make any sense. They don't want to have like a 13 and a 14,
right.
right? You want
Yeah, you
every
want to give
player
it a
to have
spread. Yeah.
something fun that they can play on that
Right.
song.
Like occasionally you get songs like Flight of the Bumblebee, which have like a 22 and a 27,
Holy
but
crap!
that's like
Did you see that?
he's still
And
gold.
he was white through the run.
Oh.
It was only when the 24th burst came that he picked up a yellow.
Oh,
This is some
okay.
insane performance.
All right, okay, so we're getting these gallops.
And the
It is
gallops
so
too!
hard
He's
to.
getting white on the gallops.
Yeah,
If
they're
you
very.
haven't played this one, it's so hard to time those 24th gallops at this speed.
Yeah, like you are moving around. Okay, he's still gold. It's an easy part. That's safe to say. Okay, that stretchy part, doing the stretches really well.
Stretching. And now we're
Yeah,
run, and then
got a miss there.
both players picking up a miss somewhere in that. I mean, it's a crazy
Yeah, I mean,
screen.
there's a lot there. Okay,
Oh,
so we have
here's
these
the-
patterns.
the jank pattern.
Yeah, so looks like MCAT. Oh my god, she is reading so fast.
Yeah.
I would not want to commit to those turns if I was reading that fast either. Yeah, that is really tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
MCAT
looks like
reads
they both
fairly
picked up
fast.
misses there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
All right, this cooldown part right at the end.
okay, and Glomy, ooh, 983. So that is solidly first on that. Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah, so-
a 5-star on Show You.
Yeah, 5 stars on one of the toughest 24s, like 23 perfects.
Yeah, Issa Cohen, she had to give
Yeah,
that fist bump.
even
dude.
like even MCAT's like 88 on that is like pretty
Yeah,
respectable. Like,
I don't,
that chart is
I don't
hard.
know what I lost
Like-
my phone at some point, so I don't have any idea what I'd have on this chart, but I don't have that.
Yeah, like
tell you.
like we were at a point where these charts are just really hard and everyone is just really good.
Yeah. Ooh-wee. All right.
Very, very solid push from both players. Okay, and then we have, I guess, the two players that advanced from the last pool.
Yep, from
so-
the players from Yellow Division that bumped up into Orange, we have Pilot and Senpai.
Pie Brothers. We also had Jai Pie in that pool, right?
Yeah,
So,
we did.
it's just
So much pie.
just pies all
It was
around.
pie all over
Gotta
the
get
place.
like Wordist to change his.
And hopefully
changes
they're
tag.
prepared
Wordpitis.
for the.
I don't think anyone can prepare for this set.
For Esperanza,
like-
Music's Moving, Show You, even Cryo Sleep. There's so much going on in this set.
Not Katana Fighter though.
Not
that
Katana.
one's free yet.
I mean, I have a fine time on Katana Fighter, right?
Yeah.
If I can play a full chart, it's tame. It's tame.
Senpai warming up with Zen.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
So warming up with the 23 to like play a 21, which sounds wait, okay, and Pilot's playing on my own, which is like
On
actually
my
stupid.
own?
Like, what are you doing? This is
Oh my gosh.
okay.
yeah,
So he's
'cause-
warming up with one of the hardest 22s in the game. I guess it'll get the blood flowing because boy, this chart whips you around and it has a lot of steps
Yeah.
and it's really fast. Senpai going for I guess another angle. So Zen. Reasonably low-key 23, mostly notable for having a lot of brackets.
Oh, yes.
And some really, really weird gallops to lock into just because they're really slow. And okay, so...
Yeah, I mean, as they're coming from the lower division, so they probably haven't played, 23s and 24s yet. I think they played maybe
Right.
one 23 in the previous.
yeah, there was a 22 and a 23 in that draw.
But for the most part, they've been playing
22s, I think. But
lower
yeah.
difficulty stuff.
Right.
So they're probably trying to play a little bit harder stuff to get the blood flowing.
Right, especially
to
since
prepare
like
themselves.
even if they have played before, like 6 people just played between them, so they're probably not totally warmed up right now.
Right.
So yeah, trying to get the blood flowing definitely a good strategy here. I guess we don't have a cam on Senpai right now, but he pretty much exclusively plays no bar, right?
Right.
So,
yes.
it'll
Senpai is no bar king.
Yeah, so
We'll see how that
great to see.
stacks up.
Yeah, I mean, great to see representation of people playing like that, even at this high level. Like, advancing
Yeah.
to this pool at all is
Getting up to
certainly no
Orange
small feat.
Division, no bar, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. All right, Pilot
Okay.
ending up with a 94 on my own, which is pretty good for that school
Yeah,
song.
Absolutely.
That is a tough one.
It is one of the toughest 22s.
Yeah, I think he picked up some earlies and lates
he
on the
got some
burst.
stuff on some of the bursts, but those bursts are really fast. It's
They're
like what,
very fast.
190 BPM. Like that is faster than almost anything in the game.
But we've got
Yeah, it
30
is
seconds
not
in
faster than everything in this set, though. It is not faster than the 30 seconds in here or the 24ths in Show You. So,
Right.
So I guess in a way that's a good warm up, like
It's
testing
it's
yourself for
warming up.
like fast bursts like that.
Are you prepared to do what you got to do? Ooh. Ooh, pops. Ooh.
You good?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting down for a while. Or?
sometimes commentary is hard work, you know. I think,
Yeah.
you know, oh, anybody can do it, but...
No, you actually have to know what you're talking about. And you have to talk a lot. Like,
And
those are
sometimes
both
my
non-trivial.
butt cheeks
Yeah.
fall asleep,
Oh.
you know, so...
And then you can't get up, and then you have to commentate even more. That sounds terrible.
You
Just
know,
like
it's just-
an endless...
we're doing the
just
real
like
hard
an
work
endless
here.
spiral like that,
But
yeah.
no, but look at these players go. Look
Okay,
at them
yeah,
go.
so we're back to cryo sleep. So, you know, these little jumps into 30-second bursts. Very familiar if you played ITG2. Looks like they're both handling it pretty well. They're pretty close together. Yeah, hitting... So,
Yeah, the no bar technique is... It
Yeah.
can lead to different things being difficult.
right, like mine avoidance, I would imagine. Because, like, you
Yeah.
have to get your feet off the arrows, and you don't have the bar to leverage that up against, so...
Senpai
Yeah, like I
just
mentioned.
completely
Yeah,
ate that. the
He
slowdown
did not seem
section.
to agree with the slowdown.
He
very
was
much,
like,
but-
"That's not the rhythm."
Yeah.
But yeah, things like shifting your weight it's more important.
You have to have a
for no
lot
bar.
you have to have just like a lot of body control, like which tests muscles that you probably wouldn't associate with dance games.
Right.
All right, so going into like the ending, Pilot is still gold actually. That's
Very
crazy.
impressive.
Yeah, so he's doing really well on this.
Oh my gosh.
Little burst at the end.
Little burst.
The burst
and
at the end
it's
into the
sealed
jump
nice.
is like
98.
really cheeky.
6.
Yeah, a 98.6.
That's a very
yellow
Rex
combo
score.
on that. Like,
That's actually
That's crazy.
second place.
oh wow.
That's
Wow,
crazy.
yeah, that beat Telperion.
That's insane.
Okay, so
To
that
come up
is-
from Yellow Division and get second place on a song.
yeah, especially like a song like that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, yeah, it's not the most stamina intensive 21, but it's hard. It takes a lot of control to like score on something like that.
I mean, even if he doesn't make it up to the next division or whatever,
Yeah,
he's-
no, he has
needs
made
to
a
take.
statement.
That's a statement right
Like-
there. You know, you take that. Yeah, you could like screen cap that, put that on your fridge, frame it, put it on your wall. That's
yeah, beat
that's
at
impressive.
least advance the division and then beat like 5 of the people actually in that division on yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. But moving on to even harder stuff. It's
Yep.
just gonna get harder from here. Moving on to Esperanza.
Yeah, so again, just kind of eases you into it with like some little 16 bursts. Still some like turns and whatnot in here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
eases into it only relatively speaking.
Yep.
Jumps, move around a decent bit. Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying. Like having had like really good sort of weight control when you're playing that no bar, especially because
Yeah,
shift
that's
you around.
with the mines and the gallops.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that
really
is, like,
gotta.
really technical.
Weight management is a big thing for gallops. That's actually lower difficulty players who play around the like 17 level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a lot of friends who play on my cab around that level, and gallops is like it's a new kind of brain thing,
Right.
Like that you gotta
Yeah,
get
no, like,
used
the,
to.
The first couple times you see it, it's like, what? That's a thing?
Yeah, because if you think about it, there's actually two different styles of gallops. There's the gallops where you always use the same foot for like the second note. Like you
Right.
go left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot,
Right,
foot.
and then ones where like you don't, you kind of have to like jack, like
yeah,
this.
exactly.
Like-
and you do like the little horse gallop back and forth.
Right.
Right. And,
And,
so
like-
knowing which of those gallops it is coming up.
Right, because they feel very different.
They are.
And that chart, incidentally, does both of those.
It does.
quite a bit. Like,
So
like
you
we were-
on the fly, you have to be able to like figure out, which one is it asking me to do. You got to get your weight moving,
Right.
So you can see Senpai, he's
Yeah,
having a time
he's-
with it.
Yeah. Pilot gets a 97 on that, so
Very impressive.
respectable.
That's a great score right there. All right, moving on to Katana Fighter. This should be a lot more in Senpai's wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's very.
just-
He doesn't seem happy with
Yeah.
it, but that could just be leftovers from the last two songs.
I mean, really, I think it's just energy. You know, how much energy do you have for playing these types of songs? You
Right.
know? Like, because when you're at home, you know, you have like
You're in
your
your
fans.
element,
You got your special drinks. You know,
you have your
got
setup that you
towels
have
to wipe
like
yourself down with.
personalized
Yeah.
very, very heavily. Yeah, absolutely.
And so when you're in an unfamiliar setting, you know, even just like the sensitivity of each individual panel can be
Right,
different.
absolutely.
So you might be like, oh, you know, that panel, I'm used to just tapping it a little bit. Now I got to press really hard, and that
Right.
can throw off your whole game, you know.
Right.
But we'll see how they do. See if they can
Yeah.
lock in their mental game for this one.
Yep. Like even if the last two songs like didn't really go as they wanted, like you've got to shake that off and get a. I was about to say get a white combo, but I mean, even holding gold on these runs, yeah, no, he's nailing these. They are both nailing these. This is really close, actually.
Very nice, yeah. Super close. Ooh, super close.
Like, oh yeah. I think
When it
Pilot has like
stops, you can
100
kinda
point
see it.
lead, but yeah, not very much. Yes, we're getting into like those broken gallops. They're
Mm-hmm.
both handling those very well. Got a little run coming up.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, pretty well. Senpai got like a couple yellows, but handled that pretty well. Pilot, I think
Here's
he got
that
all
pad
right on that, yeah.
transition with the runs.
Pilot doing very well on these runs.
Now the slowdown.
yeah,
Pilot a
look-
couple hundred points ahead.
Yeah, so
I'd say.
it's a nice, yeah, like 400.
Mm-hmm.
This, like an actual break is really nice for that.
Yeah, I always think we need more like this kind of style, like what are they called? Like Transmania style songs, you know, where it doesn't have any tech. There's no tech. It's just some stream, a little bit
Slow
of a break.
streams. Yeah, no, I mean
Streams, you
charts
know?
like that are really. Oh my God, he hexed it. Okay.
Amazing scores from both players.
Yeah, so 998 and then 9955. Like, yeah. Wow.
That puts them in. Those are competitive scores.
Yeah, no, again, that's also second. He's yeah, no, he has come to play. Went
Pilot
up one
doing the
pool
thing.
and decided one pool was simply not enough.
He doing the thing.
Yeah, which I mean, 6 people advance out of this pool, so.
But
it's
you know,
not-
if somebody from the lower pool advances, that's kicking out somebody.
right, so
from
someone
this
who
pool.
actually seated up here, yeah. So
Yeah, somebody who was
yeah, no,
expected
that is
to
still.
go up. So that's an
He
upset
is
right
still
there.
very much punching above his level and doing pretty well at it. Like that is 2 very respectable scores out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not even talking about Senpai getting like a mid 995 on that. Like that is also still an extremely good score. Like yeah, no, everyone has been doing very well on Katana Fighter, which is good to see.
That's what we like to see. You know, we don't want to see people not doing their best, like everybody doing bad. We want to see the tippy top scores. We want to see
Right.
single digit perfect fights.
Right. Okay, so Senpai, okay, he got some earlies, but he full comboed
He full
that no
comboed
bar.
it.
Like that.
That's impressive.
Respect.
That's worth it.
Like
you know?
mad respect for that. Like
We like
because
that.
those runs, I mean, they move you. He comboed that, yeah.
Just like the music. The music is moving.
It looks like he has a. No, okay, Pilot has like a 200 or 300 point lead, so it looks like he broke combo there, but still holding his own.
There's plenty to go.
Yeah,
There's those foot switches, more foot switches, going back across the pads.
Okay, so it looks like Pilot has a 800 or so point lead. But they're both still handling this pretty well. Got those little jumps. And then we get into like the last third where density ramps up again and
Yep.
starts
So
taking a few more runs at the end.
hopefully they still have the
Anything could
energy
happen
for
there.
it.
Yeah, hopefully. Senpai picking up a miss there.
You can definitely tell Senpai's starting to be a little bit more gassed
yeah,
on these runs.
Getting a little gas. Pilot also misses there.
I mean, these are tough.
Yeah, no,
These
those
are
patterns
so
are not
fast.
easy, yeah. Yeah, okay, so 96 to 92.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Holding it down for like that entire chart is like not trivial at all. So, doing really well on like the early runs, but then missing the end because you just get tired.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I mean, that's
extremely foreseeable.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough and tough and tumbling.
So.
What is,
I think Pilot is guaranteed to advance. I think that's why he was so happy.
oh, nice.
Well, yeah, because again, he got second on 2 of the songs, and 4
That's
songs
true.
in, I think we have a decent sense of like how the standings are going to sort of shake out. Yeah, so Senpai, unfortunately, I think cannot advance at this point. But
yeah,
I don't
especially with the,
actually-
he can only. I mean, I guess if he got first, he would get a lot of points. But
on here, like
yeah,
shown?
realistically, yeah, it's sorted by the total points,
But
so
total
we can
points are
see
hidden.
that. Yeah,
hidden
Nglomi,
by the score feed. Okay,
right? Yeah,
So
Nglomi and Telperion looks like
they
look
looks
like they're
gonna
going
be first
to
and second.
advance into winner's side, but you know,
Yeah,
Pilot.
They,
See where he
could
shakes out.
still they could still shake up the overall standings, to be sure. Like even if we were saying it at the end of the last pool, like even if you are out, like you still want to push your hardest because A, it could have implications for standings, and B, I mean you just want
You
to,
wanna do
right?
your
Like,
best.
you show up to a tournament, like you want to do what you can. So
Oh man,
It's-
look at
it-
Senpai doing all the turns.
I respect it.
I mean, you gotta as a no
Yeah.
bar player. No.
I mean, some of the turns in, like the second half of this chart, I can see being like pretty tough to do in the bar, but we'll
I
see.
guess we'll find
Yeah.
out.
All right, so they are pushing through this. This is a very hard 24, and that 24th section is really rude.
Yeah,
That
Pilot about
stretch
2,000
section is
points.
also rude. Yep,
2,000 points ahead.
got those little runs.
Pilot tends to be a little bit better at the lower difficulty stuff,
Right.
but he has been working recently on the higher difficulty stuff, more like trying to crack into
Senpai,
those.
he is
Oh my
trying
gosh.
to do the turns.
He's
those turns
doing-
are extremely hard. So
They are
he's
so
doing
tough.
the form.
He's not dead
Pilot
yet.
Did
Not dead
seem
yet.
Like he was, but he's
Yeah, if Pilot
holding
can
his own.
cheese something, he's gonna cheese it.
all right.
All
so,
right, getting through to the end, we respect that effort on one of the
Yeah.
hardest 24s
yeah,
as
like
no bar.
even passing that chart is like not trivial. Like,
I think that's still probably
that
better
is
than my
a
score.
very very good push from both players on that.
Yeah. So, all right,
Yeah, so it looks like Pilot will advance.
Pilot moving on.
yeah.
MCAT and Senpai have been eliminated.
Right, so-
from this bracket.
Inglomi and Telperion will. Yeah, okay. So looks like Inglomi won, so he'll be, I guess, the 7th seed in the bracket. So he will face me. Telperion will be 8th seed, so he will face Paranoia Boy. And then WDRM, Grady, Pilot, and Issa will be advancing to the lower or losers bracket, but still in the top 12. So still a perfectly decent chance to make a run out of that. Like everyone left at this point is really good, but
Yeah.
still alive.
Anything can happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
any-
now the matches, like the song picks, right? The card draw aspect
Right.
comes into play.
Right, now you can
Right.
actually like pick songs, and it is not just, oh hey, the randomizer has decided that you will play Cryo Sleep and show you, have fun, you won't.
Right. Yeah, you can
Unless you're
specifically
like
try to pick
Inglomi
things.
or Telperion, I guess. Then you might have
Apparently,
fun.
you know,
Yeah,
everybody has different skill sets, and
right,
so
absolutely.
now we get to see a different type of skill set that picking of songs that complement your particular play
Right.
style.
So having like, broad chart knowledge or even just an extremely esoteric skill set, like stuff like that starts really
Like
coming into play.
Crossovers or
I-
foot switches or something.
Crossovers are esoteric now? Is that where we are?
If that's your like
that what this
specialty,
game
you
is?
know,
Yeah.
they're esoteric
I
to
mean,
me.
yeah, they're very much my specialty.
There's all kinds of tech, and
or,
we're gonna
or
see it.
even like hands. Well, hands. Like
Hands.
if you want to pocket pick Galactical or Disconnected Disco.
Disconnected Disco.
That's.
It's
I have a
there.
feeling we'll see that at least once. Just knowing who is in the top 12, I have a feeling we'll see probably both of those at least once.
But before then, we're going to take a short break.
Yep.
I
I actually have to prepare to play in the
That's
top
right.
12 bracket, so I have to
We got to get our players
eat
warmed up.
lunch and
We gotta
whatnot, so-
we gotta fill our stomachs, all that kind of stuff.
Which
So
probably also means that someone else should be on the mic because I cannot commentate while playing.
yeah, we'll figure it out. But stay on this channel. We will be back soon. Thank you all for watching,
Yep,
and
for sure. Yep.
see you in a bit.
Mhm.